Welcome back to LeetCode Daily Grind. Today we're looking at July 1st questions. These are easy questions, 3 consecutive odds. So let's look at the questions. Given an integer array, return true if there are 3 consecutive odd numbers in the array, and then otherwise return false. So let's look at the first example. There's only one odd number here, then it doesn't have 3 consecutive odds, so we return false. And for the second example, we can see that there exists 5, 7, 23, which is the 3 consecutive odds, and then we return true. So one way of looking at this question is we can brute force it by checking, when we look at one element, we can check the next two and see if all 3 of them are odd number. So let's look at here. When we look at 1, we look at 1, 2, 34 together, and then check if the 3 of them are all odd. And then we can go to the next 3, and then go to the next 3, and then go to the next 3, until we eventually found 5, 7, and 23. If we go to the end, the last one, then we couldn't find it, and then we return false. So we can have for I in range length of array, and then remember we only check until the third last. So we'll do -2 here, and then if the current array mod2 is equals to 1, means something is odd, and the next one is also odd, and the next one also odd, mean 3 of them, and then we return true, otherwise return false. We'll click submit. You can see that this runs 46 milliseconds and then bits 64.36%. Can we make it better? All right, so there's actually one way of making it better. So let's look at a second example. Instead of looking at 3 chunks at a time, in this way, we're looking at the elements more time than we do. Like for 2, we look at 2 times. For 34, we actually look at 34 3 times, because we do 1, 2, 34, 2, 34, 3, and then 34, 34. So instead of this, we can have a variable called consecutive odds, and then we initialize it to 0. So every time we see an odd, we increment by 1. But when we see another even, we set it back to 0. So in the case here, if we find 5, we set it to 1, then we keep moving, then 2, then consecutive odds will be 3 when we see 23. So when we found 3 of them, we can return true. So the same concept, we want to loop through the whole array, and then if the array at I is an odd number, we want to increment the consecutive odds, else we set the consecutive odds back to 0. And when we find 3 of them, we can return true. Otherwise, at the very end, we will return false. If we submit this, you can see that the performance is better than when we run the brute force way. Right, thanks for watching.